Today I'm going to share with you my favorite overall household vacuum. Now I do use a Swiffer vac most of the week, and then once a week or once every second week I do a thorough cleaning of the house, and I actually use a shop vac. Now, being that I have allergies, a lot of people have asked what type of vacuum I used. And honestly, I've tried very expensive brands of vacuums like Dyson, and I've tried some of the vacuums that are specifically for hard floors, and then one specifically for carpets, and I haven't found anything that can really outperform the shop vac. So first of all, I'll talk to you about what I don't like about it. What I don't like about it is it's extremely loud. So luckily I only do this maybe once a week, but other than that, it does spit out a little bit of dust. Obviously there's no filter in it, but I found a solution for that that's quite simple and almost completely dust free. Because this is a wet dry vac, you can vacuum up pretty much anything all at once, and that's what I love about it. I vacuum the entire house. This does my dusting for me and my vacuuming. So what I do is I wet the filter inside. The one that's supposed to be for dry, that says to remove it if you're going to be using wet, I actually leave it in and I just dampen it. I'll just show you here. This is the dry filter, but I have a little bit of water sprayed on it. Just took it out by the door, give it a little mist with the hose, and that helps trap all the dust. Find it's pretty convenient. You can get them on wheels. I've had them on wheels, and you can get this little hand carry one. Very powerful, has excellent suction. Much better suction than the Dyson handheld that I had. Actually, I found the Swiffer was probably as good or maybe even slightly better than the Dyson. So this was my #1 vacuum. I've been using this for many years. It was $29, right? You can pick these up at Walmart. Very inexpensive, and it comes with different heads as well. So I tend to walk around the house with the vacuum nozzle on, as well as this crevice tool and this fluffy brush tool for getting all the dust. And I'll show you how I clean the entire house from top to bottom with this simple shop vac. Now, if you have really severe allergies to dust, I suggest opening the windows and doors if you can while you're doing your vacuuming. And if you have a good air purifier, you can go ahead and turn on your air purifier while you're vacuuming just to catch any extra dust. But with the wet filter the way I have it, it's very little dust. So let's go ahead and clean the whole house. So I'm going to start with this fluffy brush attached to the shop vac, and I will do all around my windows and any kind of chair rail here that could have dust on it. I do the baseboards, pretty much everything. I'll even go ahead and do over the countertops with this fluffy brush and get everything dusted. It doesn't take that long at all. So I'm going to mute the sound in this video so you're not subjected to the loud noise, but I'll let you hear a little bit of it at first, just so you can determine if this is the type of vacuum you may want or not want because of the sound. Just gonna pull off this attachment, go ahead and put on the fluffy attachment, and here we go. Gonna make the noise. When I say this shop vac is great for multi-purpose cleaning, it really is. I'm a lazy cleaner and I love a clean house, so I'm just going to put this attachment on now, and I'm going to actually vacuum any crumbs out of the oven and even out of the toaster. So we're going to go ahead and use the shop vac to even clean out the toaster and the oven. Thing a lot of people may miss when they're cleaning, now some have it on the back and some have it on the front, is this dust shield. Now this was vacuumed last week and just under the fridge here. So go ahead and put the fluffy brush back on. I'm going to stay with this one and just get under the fridge, and then going to put the fluffy brush on and get all that clean. Now as I go along, I'll also clean the heaters. This is a great way to clean out all around those heaters and get those done as I'm going. So as you can see, it does a great job of dusting, and now I'll just put on the floor attachment and do the floor. And then afterwards I'll show you how easy it is to clean, and this is another reason why I really love having this wet dry shop vac. And just another thing I wanted to mention is if you have sensitivities like I do, you might find purchasing new products have a lot of VOCs, like the plastics especially, can smell really oily and really toxic. And these are made from ABS plastic and polyethylene. Initially, usually for the first run, I'll just run it out by the door until the fan blows off, because I think there may be a slight amount of some kind of an oil or a lubricant in it. And after about 10 or 15 minutes of running, there's no smell on these vacuums. The few different top-end brands that I bought, the vacuum itself was spewing out a plastic smell, a burning plastic and oily kind of smell that never really went away. These, you can hose the whole thing off and wash it down. I washed it down initially when I bought it new with some vinegar, ran it out by the door till the fan burned off, and then it's been pretty much non-toxic and pretty benign for those with chemical sensitivities. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the house, and then I'll show you how to clean it. Actually, it's two things that I'm not overly fond of about it, and that's aside from the noise. It is corded, but I'm not sure if a cordless vacuum can be as powerful as one with a cord. But it is very powerful, so that's a bonus. So the cord is just an inconvenience, but we have enough plugs around the house. I'm going to show you how well it goes from a hard floor surface to a carpeted surface. So also, it's really great at picking up all those little hard stones that a lot of the other vacuums can't pick up. Little stones you bring in on your boots and things like that. So it's great for that. And in the winter time, when this is all full of slush and water, it's a wet dry vac. So you can go ahead and just vacuum over everything, all that old snowy slush and salty, sandy mess that gets in your foyer. Go ahead and just use this and vacuum it up. No problem. And I forgot to add, once I'm down into the foyer again or almost finished my vacuuming, because I don't want to put this dust in it in the beginning, so this will be one of the last things I do. I go ahead and I vacuum out my dryer. I'm finished all the household vacuuming. I'm just going to detach the hose here, and if you need to clean it, you can rinse this out. I haven't had to yet. My older one I cleaned out maybe once a year. I'm just gonna haul this outside and clean it out. So I usually take it back here by my compost bin to give it a clean out, and I try to do it every time I vacuum since I did wet the filter in there. It's pretty simple. Because it's a wet dry vac, you don't have to worry about getting water on it. So we're just going to lift the top off here. I'll do this with my camera in my hand. There you go, that's better. I'll just lift the top off. It's pretty simple. And you can see the filter is full of dirt. And the inside is full of dirt. I'm just going to dump that in the compost. Take out my hose. The bucket a little rinse clean. And just make sure all the dirt's out of there. Now we'll go ahead and I'm just going to hose off the filter. Let's see all the dust it picked up. And it hoses off quite easily. So once I've given it a quick rinse off with the hose, it's just to leave it out here now and I'll let it dry out in the sun. If it's winter time, I'll put it in the garage and just let it dry off. Or sometimes I'll just spray it with a little bit of vinegar and peppermint essential oil and bring it in the house, and that way it won't get any mildew on it as it's drying inside. It's really simple and easy to keep clean. So aside from being quite noisy and having a cord, those are the only two downfalls I can find with using this for cleaning my entire house. It does my dusting, it does my rugs, it does my hard floors, both wood and ceramic. And I've been using one of these for many years. If the filter is damp, it's pretty much completely dust free. You can vacuum up wet, slushy spills, winter slush, anything like that. And you can also vacuum up dry at the same time. You can do your dusting, you can vacuum out your stove and your toaster. Lazy way of vacuuming, and it's really economical. These are only about $29 a piece, Canadian. They might even be cheaper in some stores. And the number one thing for me was that it does a really good job at sucking up all the dust and dirt, and the unit itself doesn't have any toxic off-gassing of plastics or oily type smell that you will find with other vacuums. So I hope some of you found this beneficial. My favorite vacuum that I use for cleaning my entire house.